Yeah.
No, I'm not on. No mics? Yeah, it's on now.
It's on now.
You're on.
Want to welcome everybody to our November 21st, 2019 Town Board meeting. I ask that we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, we're going to start the meeting off with a recognition ceremony to two wonderful citizens of the town of Woodbury. They are, is it Raylan Brown and Leah Truhan, I'm sorry. And I'm going to give them a presentation. And the reason why they're getting a presentation is you might have seen them in the back of Jay's selling lemonade. And they actually raised approximately $100 for the animal shelter for supplies. So I'm going to call them up to the podium over there, and I'm going to read them their proclamation.
Come on, ladies. Let's go.
Professional sign and everything.
Oh, yeah.
It was like this super professional sign.
I'm
You
telling
could
you.
rent that out and make money.
That's it, okay. Now, I'm going to read the presentation. You can look with me now. This is a certificate in recognition and gratitude. This certificate is awarded to Leah Truhan, says here right there, in appreciation of your kindness, commitment, and generosity, November 2019. And I have the same certificate of recognition and gratitude, and this certificate is awarded to Raylan Brown in appreciation of your kindness, commitment, and generosity for what I have just presented of raising money for our animal shelter. I'm really, truly amazed at what you did. I saw it on Facebook, and I said, you know, this is what we ask for in our children, and you're doing the right thing, and we appreciate it. This is for Raymond. Now you get to face that way, get one on one side and one on the other. I'm gonna take a nice picture.
Can you say your name?
Nah, you're right. Okay?
Turn slightly for the camera.
Now turn to this one.
Nice big one, yeah.
Yeah.
I want everyone to see you on TV.
You'll be on TV now. Give them a real round of applause. They did a great job. So proud of them. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Great kids.
They'll be back.
Hey, how are you? Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you for doing
Glad
this.
to have you. Bye. Good job. Good job, girl. Good job.
Okay, we're gonna go on to, public hearing for introductory local law number 2 of 2019, the repeal of local law number 1 of 2019, entitled Tax Cap override. Desiree, did you wanna read that?
I can, you just said, but I'll say it again.
Oh, I thought you were gonna read the,
It's the same thing. A public hearing is being held to entertain public comments on introductory local law 2 of 2019 to repeal local law 1 of 2019 entitled tax cap override, which was adopted on October 3rd, 2019. Public notice was printed in the Times Herald Record on November 12th, 2019.
Great.
Now, I will mention that, before you go up to speak, we're approximately 500, I think, of 50,000 below the cap. So if anybody wants to get up and talk about what they feel about this, you're more than welcome. Don't rush. Okay? I need a motion to close the hearing.
I'll make that second.
All in favor? Everybody in support of it? We gotta do a roll call, correct?
Yes, and that resolution is.
Yeah,
Would you like me to read the resolution?
please.
Whereas a resolution duly adopted by the town board on November 7th, 2019, scheduling a public hearing to be held by said governing board on November 21st, 2019 at 7:30 p.m. to hear all interested parties on a proposed local law entitled A Local Law to Repeal Local Law 1 of 2019 in the town of Woodbury. And whereas on November 7th, 2019, the town board designated itself as lead agency with respect to the secret review of the foregoing proposed local law, preliminary classified the proposed action as an unlisted action under secret, and scheduled a secret public hearing with respect to the action. And whereas notice of said public hearing was duly advertised in the Times Herald Record, the official newspaper of said town, on November 12th, 2019, according to law. And whereas said public hearing was duly held on November 21st, 2019, at or about 7:30 p.m. at the Woodbury Meeting Room located at 615 Route 32, Highland Mills, New York, and all parties in attendance were permitted an opportunity to speak on behalf of or in opposition of said proposed local law or any part thereof. And whereas the town board has reviewed the proposed local law, the short environmental assessment form prepared in connection therewith, and considered the public comment provided at the aforesaid public hearing, after due deliberation thereon, now therefore be it hereby resolved by the town board of the town of Woodbury that the proposed local law constitutes an unlisted action pursuant to secret. The proposed local law has no significant adverse environmental impacts, and the town board hereby issues a negative declaration thereon. The adoption of the proposed local law is in the best interest of the residents of the town, and the town board hereby adopts said local law 2 of 2019 entitled A Local Law to Repeal Local Law 1 of 2019. And the town clerk is hereby directed to enter said local law in the minutes of this meeting and in the local law book of the town of Woodbury, and to give due notice of the adoption of said local law to the Secretary of State.
Thank you. Now we'll, take a roll call. I need a motion.
Motion.
Second,
That's okay.
please the roll call.
Councilwoman Hernandez.
Yes.
Supervisor Palermo.
Yes.
Councilman Marone.
Yes.
Councilman Hunter.
Yes.
And Councilman Essig is absent.
You're welcome. Okay, we're going to now open the floor for public input. Okay, go ahead. Anybody in row 1? Row 2? 3?
Sandy Criglione, Central Valley. At the last meeting, I had asked about a voucher for the town engineer with regard to the pool bids. I think it was 9,500, something like that. And you had said that Mr. Petriccioni's contract didn't include the bids, but on the second page of his contract, it actually says that it includes the development of the project bid package as well as the evaluation of the project bids.
Yes, but Al Fusco is the one who prepares the actual bids, he did all of the plans, the maps, and everything else included. All what John does is give Al the information that he needs to go out to bid.
So, but they're both being paid to do the bids, correct?
No, they're two different things. One is doing the preparation to give Al all the numbers so he can do the bid. Al is actually preparing the bid.
on tonight's abstract, on page 2, under, Tanya, the amount is $28,426.69. It just has a file number. Do you know what that's for?
You wanna know the 28,000, or you wanna
Yeah,
know?
I wanna know what that is.
That's, between the litigation between the town and the village.
And then, on page 6, there's a, Game Time MRC Inc. for $26,605.70, purchase order for playground equipment. Is that for?
The new playground at the pool,
At the pool.
correct.
Was that part of the pool,
No,
so,
completely separate,
okay,
paid for through the parklands. fees.
okay. The Parks Commissioners knew about this?
Yeah,
Okay. And then on page 8, Job 1 Concrete Consultants, what was that, $9,500?
that's for the, walls that they're putting up. I told you they were expanding the game room at the pool.
Okay,
There's that fenced-in area where, so we've gotten new games and everything, that people have donated, and we've expanded the area.
okay, all right. And then, I noticed that the agenda had changed from the original agenda as far as, I think it was B and C.
Yes, because the law that's going to go into effect is a combination of one law, it's not two separate laws.
Okay, and that leads me to my question, why is that being done?
Well, what we're doing is, first of all, there is a public hearing next week, but I'll explain that. As I said several meetings ago, that we needed to update our town law, you know, the books. How long has it been, Desiree?
Oh, very well, at least 20 years that it's actually been reviewed and
Okay.
draft received.
So, so we are starting to do that process for this year. And since the commissioners brought up that particular law and was questioning it, I reviewed it and realized that it is completely outdated for what it's being used for today.
Why
At
is
Parks, well, give me a chance and I'll explain it. Parks commissioners have the powers to hire, to fire, and nothing can be done in the parks without their approvals. Well, that's not how they've been operating for the last, I've been on the board, I came on the board in 1996, and there was a little time in between, but since then, they've never acted as a commission, they've acted more like a committee. They do not go around hiring staff, Joey does that. In fact, we have hired Joey as a full-time parks and recreation director, and he's in charge of all of that. So many of the duties of the commissioners is no longer needed in this town. Most commissioners are used on cities, for cities where the, I guess the city council and all do not get involved in the parks commission, and so the parks in itself has the rights of the board. Well, we don't have that in this town. It's really, they've always acted as a committee, as long as I've been here. They've always acted as a committee. They've acted as a committee that advised and worked out with the town. And so our feeling was is that we might as well make them a committee rather than have it as a commission, which is not where they fall into.
maybe I missed it, but where in the code does it say they have the power to hire and fire? I didn't
It
see
says
in
that
the
it's
code
according to
anywhere.
the law, Joe, what is it exactly, the law? It referenced Law 13 or something, Article 13 in the law, which defines all those
I
things.
believe I've read that, it says to
Okay.
equip and operate. I didn't-
No, no, you're reading what the town law says. And then underneath it, it says that they have all the powers vested in New York State law under Article, I think it's 13, which then explains Article 13, all of the powers. And it does not in any way, shape, or form reflect what we have here in the town of Woodbury.
Okay, was this discussed with the commissioners?
No,
Why not?
well, because this is a town board decision.
Okay, but when the beautification commission was changed to a committee, you were a councilman.
Yes, I
Mr. Hunter
was.
was a councilman, Mr. Long was a councilman,
Yes.
and you gave the park, or the beautification commission the respect and the courtesy of discussing it with them before it was changed. I don't
Well, it was
understand.
discussed, and as you say, the courtesy, because if I'm not mistaken, they came to us, and they asked to discuss it with us, and they asked us to change it. We didn't initiate it.
But still, it was a discussion, it was a mutual discussion.
Because they came to us. We decided we will have a public hearing, and they have the right to discuss it. But this board has decided that we are changing the laws, and we're gonna move forward on it.
Okay. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else in row 3? How about row 4? Row 5? In the back?
Maria Hunter, I'm here as a resident, but first I would like to respond on behalf of the beautification committee. And yes, I am chairperson of the beautification committee, and we have a great committee of 6 additional people who volunteer their time. And I just want to let everyone know that Supervisor Palermo, you are correct. We approached then Supervisor Caruso, because we were having issues with people with attendance. Supervisor Caruso said, beautification commission, work on this, bring us back what your proposal is. We met on May 14th, 2015. We reviewed our own draft. We gave it to the town board. Town board held a hearing on June 18th, 2015. No one from the residents spoke at that meeting. I was the only one that spoke. And I thank the board for reviewing everything and in putting this transparency law into effect. And it was dated June 18th, 2015. So that's the beautification end of it. And there's been some question about what the beautification does. Every year, we have an annual report that's submitted in August. This is in the law. And I see that it's in this proposed law for the Parks Commission, which I think is very useful, because it tells you what the activities were done for the past year and what your goals are for the following year. There's myself as a chairperson. There's my son, Justin Hunter, Desiree Potvin, Robert Angelone, Ryan Crosby, Diane Marone, and Marty Ness. I've been on this committee for over 25 years. It's a long time. We meet once a month, first Thursday of the month, here in Desiree's office. Meeting is at 6 o'clock. Our areas of concentration are Victory Park, Animal Shelter, Oak Clove Circle, Peroni Circle. We assist the village on that one. Buena Vista Circle, the libraries, Earl Reservoir, the new building, the police station, and the highway garage. We work with the town and the village. We are one. We always have the village highway department helps us, and we are grateful for their help. And they're going to be putting up the lights next week on the utility poles. So that is one of our things that we do annually. And our objective is to enhance the beauty and character of Woodbury, as well as preserve its historic assets. Some of our activities for the past year, from 2018 to 2019, the holiday decorations, seasonal plantings for the Memorial Day Parade, full harvest decoration, seasonal plantings in the areas noted above, spring and fall cleanup and plantings, preparation made for new signage at Highland Mills Library and Animal Shelter. And our goals for the next year, we're going to inventory our holiday decorations, purchase replacement items when necessary, continue to enhance the landscape along Route 32 corridor on municipal-owned properties, work with civic organizations and students that request our assistance, continue to work with community service workers, install signage at Animal Shelter, Highland Mills Library, Earl Reservoir. We have expanded that to include the signs at the south and the north entrance to Woodbury. And Brickley Field, that's the other one that we added this year. We addressed the property of Victory Park. There were sinkholes with the buildings and grounds. We're going to be working on that. Those of you who don't know where Victory Park is, that's along 32 and Park Avenue. Buena Vista Circle, right now there's an ungodly sign down there, it's temporary, it's a big blue sign acknowledging that there's a welcome center at Woodbury Common. I confirmed with the DOT and Yonkers last week, that sign is only temporary, and that is not going to be there. We are in the process of planning something spectacular to enhance Woodbury as you enter our town. We're gonna renovate the sheds that need some work. The sheds have been up at the highway garage for quite some time. And then we're gonna, I think that's about it. Am I missing anything, Madam Secretary, for the committee?
No.
Okay,
Well, that we're funded through the money we get from the Walmart sign, that's important.
correct. We do get the rental fee from that, and that mostly goes into, and the generosity of the town. And we do assist the Buildings and Grounds Department, and we do have a part-time gentleman that started this year. He is to do some work with us, and he also works with the rest of the Parks Department, Buildings and Grounds Department to help us. There will be some changes.
Some decorating of the new rec building too.
Right, we did a very extensive plantings up there with the trees and everything.
Looks beautiful.
Thank you, the beautification committee, we paid for that out of our line budget. You're gonna see some changes in front of the town court building. As you can see, some of the plants have been taken out, that's gonna be all cleaned up. There's gonna be seating areas, there's gonna be concrete, and there will be a nice, we'll put planters out there, so we're fixing up, so we're changing everything around. So I just want everyone who's not here, who listens to this, that we are doing lots of things in Woodbury. And this past weekend, I want to thank Robert Angelone, Justin, and Robert Hunter, and myself. We checked 26 decorations to make sure all the light bulbs are on, and each of those decorations on the pole, they're at least 5 to 6 feet in width, and they have hundreds of light bulbs on them. So everything should be up and twinkling. And I want to also mention that I read real quick this proposed chapter for the Parks and Recreation Committee, and I think it's something it looks good. And it's also transparency, so now they have to give an annual report, as we do. And that would make the community aware of what has gone on in activities and what their goals are for the next year, and as well as for the board, so they know what they have plans going on. So I thank you for also drafting that law. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Anybody, yes, Tom? Before you start, I would like to congratulate you on becoming a councilman-elect.
Thank you. Yes, Tom Burke, Central Valley. I guess I can give it right back to you. I want to start by congratulating you, Mr.
Thank you.
Palermo, for winning. Great
Appreciate
job.
it.
Yep. Best of luck going forward. I waited. I wanted to speak a couple of weeks ago, but I wanted to wait because the election really technically for everyone wasn't over. And tonight I'd also like to congratulate Councilman-elect Tyler Etzel for winning. It's a close election. We had to count, I guess they had to count the absentee ballots, which is good in a way that every ballot was counted. So congratulations to him also. I want to say that this past election, 3 town board and 3 village board positions were open. 12 residents put in their time and effort away from their family. So I commend everyone that took the time and effort to go out there and put themselves out there for our community. To Councilman Michael Essick and to Councilman Tim Marone, I just want to say that the job that you guys have done, I commend you for it. Michael for 4 years, but Tim for 8 years, unbelievable. 2 young guys, young growing families. I know that Councilwoman Hernandez knows what I'm going to say. She feels it too. You guys got young families. You take time away from your children and their events and what their activities are and your families, and you put all that in for our community. So for that, I'll always remember and always appreciate it. And thank you very much for that. I would like to say thank you to all the supporters who contributed their time and effort during this long election season. During this past summer and fall, so many of you took the time to share your ideas, your concerns, and expectations for our community, and I would like to say tonight that I appreciate your willingness to discuss what really matters to you with you. As a Woodbury councilman, it's my hope that you will all continue to provide me with ideas and feedback I need to do as it should be done for everyone in our community. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Anybody else? Okay, let's get on with our meeting. Let's get the business of Woodbury done. We need a motion and a second to accept the minutes of 11/7/2019.
I'll make that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion and a second to approve abstract 22. Desiree, please.
It contains vouchers 2019-1910 through 2019-1985, and it totals $1,087,633.01.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Budget modifications, Desiree, please.
Are this evening. To the general fund by increasing A 9060.801 HRA MVP by $19,845 and decreasing A 9060.800 health insurance by $19,845. To the police fund, increasing B 9060.801 HRA MVP by $7,950 and decreasing B 9060.800 health insurance by $7,950. To the refuse fund, increasing SR 599 appropriate fund balance by $1,156, SR 9060.801 HRA MVP by $4,600 and decreasing SR 9060.800 health insurance by $3,444.
I would just, one second, Desiree. I would just like to explain that in last year's budget, we weren't sure, because it was our first year using the MVP, we weren't sure exactly, so we put everything into our night shift account. And as the year went on, we were able to move some of the things over, so that's what most of these movements are.
I think it's a better account for the two separate plans too,
Yeah.
so you can see what's being
Exactly.
spent.
Exactly.
Ready?
Yep.
For the special reserve fund, increasing CM 599 appropriated fund balance by $30,438 and increasing CM 7989.400 other culture and recreation by $30,438. And lastly, for the buildings and grounds, increasing A 1620.462 repairs materials by $10,729 and decreasing A 1620.415 Central Valley Pond bathrooms by $5,878, A 1620.425 landscaping by $1,992, and A 1620.465 blacktopping by $2,859.
Yeah, I need a motion and a second to accept the modifications as read tonight.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Discussion?
Okay.
Did I miss something about a boiler replacement?
Oh, yes, the boiler over at the courthouse is gone.
Yeah, well, we just spent $1,600 on repairs for it, so it's up and running. But in addition to that, over the past 2 years, we put in about 8 mini split heat pumps in that building,
Correct.
which are capable of heating the courtroom and the offices too.
Correct.
The people who work there should be instructed on how to use them instead of using the steam boiler.
Well, I think, just so I can just mention that, because I said the exact same thing to them.
Yeah.
The problem is and I know is the upstairs, there's no heat up there, you can't have pipes freezing. And also, we have the hallways and stuff like that, which aren't heated by those machines.
So in the bitter cold weather, you can use the steam boiler to provide heat there. But look into the future. There's a gas line in the parks department that can be extended into the courtroom basement. And at some point, I know we're gonna redo the building. So if we have the gas there, we can install a high efficiency gas heating system.
That's what we're doing.
Instead
That's
of-
what they're looking at to replace. We're gonna replace it with a gas,
We should hold off on the boiler at this time, because that steam system is antiquated. It's only gonna be problematic in the future.
What, I'm confused, because I don't know, all I was told was the boiler, I don't know what we're talking about,
Yeah,
the steam
the,
system.
the courthouse uses a steam boiler with radiators.
Right, right, those are those big radiators that we got involved.
That's a current heating system,
Correct.
but, you know, that's 100 years old, it's old technology. Everything is gonna be a problem in the next few years with that. So, I know we're looking at, you know, renovating that place, so.
Correct.
We should just hold off on the boiler until we get the funds available to just totally redo the system.
When you say redo it, you mean,
We'll take out.
with gas? Because I know that they're taking the current boiler out, and they're replacing it with a new boiler.
But that would be oil.
No, they're going to gas. Bobby's looking at doing it with gas. They're gonna run the gas line in and put a gas.
Okay, so I'm of the opinion that you should get rid of the steam system.
Okay.
And just- I think we should like hold off on it until we
Well,
get a good idea of what to do.
let me ask you to do this then. Can you please talk to Bobby about it? Because
I
you're
can talk to
talking Greek to
anybody,
me.
Frank, I've been on this board for almost 6 years.
Please talk to Bobby now.
Bobby doesn't come to talk to me, and you know what my business is.
I will talk to him.
And that's the way it's been.
Okay. I will talk to him to come talk to you, so you can explain to him what you just explained to us.
I was asked by the chief to look at their heating system through Bobby. That didn't happen either, so whatever. But, okay.
But I will also bring it to his attention, and when he says to me, what are you talking about, I say, do me a favor, please call Councilman Hunter, because he knows,
You
and I
know,
really
You're
don't.
just throwing good money after bad, keeping that old system going.
You're right, you're right.
Why
He
do it?
came in to see me, and I said to him, is there any way we could do something other than the oil? And he said, well, we do have a gas line. I said, why aren't we using a gas line? So they're looking into getting the gas. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. With that, I need a motion. We have the motion, we have the second. All in favor? Thank you. New business. I want to thank Councilman Hunter for working with me on the UPSI contract. And so I'm gonna ask, they've already met last week and they approved the contract, the union, the UPSI union. And it's not the I'm sorry, it's the MOA that we're approving this evening. And then I'll get, I guess 75 days, I get the contract to sign. So I need a motion and a second to approve the ratification of the UPSI MOA.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And once again, thank you, Bob. There's a lot of hours into this.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Number B, letter B. Authorize the town clerk to schedule a public hearing on introductory local law number 3 of 2019, which will repeal and replace chapter 54 of the town code entitled Parks and Recreation Commission. And need a motion and a second.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Authorize the supervisor to sign a countywide public safety radio agreement. I don't know if you all got to see the emails from Joe today, but he's advising that we should go forward with it.
Yeah, I have no objection.
Okay.
And I've written to the town's insurance carrier to confirm that we don't need any additional coverage. So, I got a response and it's particularly correct, but we can certainly execute some.
Yeah, and this is for the cell towers that are going up and they're replacing all the equipment in our cars. I need a motion and a second, please.
Motion.
All in favor? Aye. And D, authorize the town clerk to advertise for vacancies on the various town committees, the beautification and the parks and recreation. Desiree, when? As I was saying.
So, can we take a step back for a second? you introduced, you adopted the resolution to schedule the public hearing on the local law. You didn't say the date. That the public hearing is going to be.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. December 5th. That's in 2 weeks.
The resolution is like. I can read it if you like.
Yeah, please. Yeah, please do.
Whereas the town board wishes to set a time and place for a public hearing to consider introductory local law 3 of 2019 entitled a local law to repeal and replace chapter 54 of the town code. And whereas the town board hereby determines that it will be the lead agency with respect to the review of the proposed local law in accord with the New York State Environmental Quality Review Act and Part 617 of the regulations implementing secret, since there are no other agencies that have the authority to approve the project. And whereas the town board hereby preliminary classifies the action as an unlisted action under secret. Now therefore, let it hereby be resolved that a public hearing shall be held by the town board in order to receive comments and suggestions regarding the proposed local law and to review any potential adverse environmental impacts of the proposed local law on December 5th, 2019 at 7:30 p.m. at the town meeting room located at 615 Route 32 in Hamlin Mills. And be it further resolved that the office of the town clerk is authorized and directed to cause public notice of said hearing be given as provided by law.
Thank you. Do we have to re-vote on it?
Why don't you,
Okay, I need a motion and a second.
it's Tim,
Motion.
and then Bob.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. Where was I? Oh, I was gonna ask you to mention, when the letters need to be in.
As we discussed earlier, the letters for terms that are expiring or vacancies that exist on the Beautification Commission and the Parks and Recreation Commission and/or committee, depending how the local laws go, will be due by close of business to my office on December 13th, 2019, and interviews will be held on December 18th, 2019.
Correct.
Now, I did send you an email about that
Yes.
as well, so you can do
Yes.
that tonight.
Yes, okay, thank you. I need a motion and a second.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Desiree, the supervisor's report?
Did you want to schedule a special meeting for that night too, or is that for the interviews? You authorized me to advert,
Okay,
yes,
okay,
you
so we have
authorized me
to
to,
authorize that
you
meeting.
have to schedule a
Okay.
special meeting, and I'm guessing you're gonna have it as an executive session since it's
Correct.
interviews.
Correct. So, I need a motion and a second to, set up a special meeting on December 18th, starting at 6 or 7?
You told
Starting
me
at 6
6,
o'clock,
but-
yes, starting at 6 o'clock. It's an executive session for interviews, for the, parts for the, Parks and Recreation and the beautification. I need a motion and a second,
Just clarify, what's the date and time?
December 18th, which is a Wednesday,
yes.
at 6 p.m. here, I'm guessing.
I'll second it. I'll take it. I haven't done anything yet tonight. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right, the supervisor's report?
The supervisor's report for October 2019 has receipts totaling $913,090.75, and disbursements totaling $1,008,673.85.
Thank you. I need a motion and a second.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Thank you. I have the town clerk's report, October 2019. The buildings and grounds, October 2019. The ACO report for October 2019. Police commissioners, the police and communications report, October 2019. Beautification committee, November 7th, 2019. We have the minutes, library minutes for October 22nd and November 7th, 2019. Parks and Recreation, October 15th, 2019 minutes, and we received the budget versus actual. And since we discussed the public hearing on introductory law, Parks and Recreation, the law is on the webpage. If you go there, it is put up. It's under today's, the November 21st. You'll see it in the things that are listed for the agenda. Board comments. Jackie?
Yeah, I just wanted to cover a couple items in old business. For the pool update, I've been working with the supervisor's clerk, Clara, to come up with the matrix, which details the 4 different designs as well as the cost per design for the taxpayer, as well as the square footage and any details that would be important. I was able to meet with the Parks Commissioner last Tuesday. I thought it was a very productive conversation with regards to what the commissioners were looking to do. I thought there was a unified feeling that, they wanted to push as much as possible for us to have a pool, and we're disheartened that the process will be delayed. During the meeting, we talked about the vote. I did find out from the Board of Elections that we would not be able to piggyback on the presidential primary, so we would have to host our own vote for the public. So with regards to what would be on that ballot, the town board and the commissioners would have to discuss those items along with our town lawyer to discuss what we need to do to put on that ballot with regards to what we're voting for and how the vote needs to be stated. We also talked about the timeline. So we did get a quote for what it would cost to do the borings as well as the open pit. And right now the estimate is roughly around $9,000, so we would have to consider what that would be with regards to what our budget is and where we're gonna go, if we're gonna wait for the vote or if that could be done beforehand. Other than that, and I know that the supervisor was supposed to get a letter, there was questions about the quality of the soil that was donated to the town. And from what we understand, the supplier stated that that soil, the earth, cannot be transported without DEC approval. So it was tested and we're waiting just for that letter, which I don't know if we had an opportunity to get that yet, but we should have that for the work session that we're gonna put together. So the timeline, we're finishing up on the items that need to be provided to the community, and then we'll have a timeline put together. We are looking at a vote for next year right now, and we were hoping for April, around there. It may or may not occur in April, depending on how much information we can get together and when we would be able to fund the vote. So that's the update for the pool. The second item is the beaver removal. Beaver removal had a lot of traction the past couple of weeks as far as concerns. And so the board has, with the help of our town clerk and our ACO, we were able to obtain some information with regards to what alternative options we can look at. I did speak with Pam, and she did tell me that she is licensed to remove the beaver. That would require permission from DEC. We would not be able to cross state lines, but she has strict parameters that she has to follow, so she would be the one consultant. We did find 2 locations that would consider taking our beaver. So we're going to look at those options for the community, because of course we love our beavers. So, as far as I wanted to talk about our reports, and department reports, the ACO, I noticed that we had over $600 in donations to our animal department shelter. Thank you. And I just want to really, again, thank the community for taking that time out to work on helping the animals. I've seen such an increase in adoptions, and I think the animal shelter has done a good job advertising the animals that are there. and getting the community to come out and support. So don't buy one, I've got one. And the last thing is happy Thanksgiving to all of our residents. Thank you.
Councilman Rowe?
I'd like to thank all those folks that recently put themselves out there to run for both the village and the town board. Everybody really had the best interest, and it's good to see that many choices out there. And congratulations to all of the victors, Tommy, Tyler, Councilman-elect, Supervisor. Congratulations, and to all the folks on the village, new mayor, new trustees. I wish you guys the best of luck. So we gotta get the fight who takes this seat versus Mike Essex.
Councilman Hunter?
I'm just wishing you a happy Thanksgiving to all out there. If you have to travel, be careful. And I'm just thankful I have a nice smooth Route 32 to zoom around on. Thanks.
Desiree? Joe?
Based on some of the discussions with the board and emails concerning the community park commission legislation, the initial draft has a 7-member board and a 7-year term. My understanding is that the board would like to reduce that to a 5-member board, so the terms only extend out 5 years. If the board wants me to, I can make that update to the draft and get it to the clerk so that it's posted, and this current draft will be available for the public.
Poll the board? You okay with it?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. Chief?
I just want to remind everybody, again, Thanksgiving is upon us, and as normal this time of year, I normally advise everybody who could possibly avoid the area of the Woodbury Commons to avoid it if you can. There is a new traffic pattern down there. I just ask everybody to try to stay focused, try to minimize their use of their phones, their cell phones, and not become distracted. Pay attention to possible weather events. Commons will be open from 9 a.m. continuously on Thursday, Thanksgiving, continuously till 11 p.m. on the Friday. We expect a lot of traffic, as usual, and again, just ask everybody to use their caution. I want to congratulate Tommy and Mr. Etzel. I'm not going to say goodbye to you, Tim, and Mike's not here, but you got more to do before you're gone. And congratulations to everybody else who won that election. That's it.
Thank you. Okay, I got a couple of things. Tomorrow, which is Friday, at 6 p.m., we have story time, movie up at,
Toy Story.
I know, okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We got Toy Story 4, the movie. That will be for the kids from, or on the adults, from 6 till whatever it ends. There'll be pizza, refreshments, and I've been given the news that yes, there will be free popcorn as well. So I'm not alone, I would go. I'd like to, as I said, I thank Tom already. I'd like to thank Councilman-elect Mr. Etzel, Tyler Etzel. Him and I did a lot of walking, and I learned a lot about this town. It's amazing how much he knows, and I think this board will be really good to have, knowing his history in this community. And of course, I thank the other, congratulate the other village members at our last board meeting. Once again, we do have Black Friday coming up, as the chief mentioned. I know that I normally get a whole bunch of calls telling me how bad the traffic is, and as a resident of this community, you should know not to be in the area. If you get caught in there, I'm sorry, but there's nothing that I can do at the time. The state police usually does the traffic up there, but be smart, stay away. And other than that, I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving, We are going to go into an executive session to interview some new SROs and a dispatcher, and that's about it. I need a motion to close.
Motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need a motion to go into executive session.
I'll motion.
And I need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Good night.